Gentlemen, welcome to your Monday championship installment of Bet. Alongside Tyler Fulghum, I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. Never mind the casual demeanor. This guy right here is playing hurt. Bad back and all. He's out here looking to give us everything he's got today.
That's what I do. No excuses. Play like a champion. You, my friend, I don't know what it is about you, but you're glowing. You look beautiful today.
Completely forgot to put my makeup on beforehand. Completely forgot. So if I look sweaty or shiny, just roll with it. That's my natural look.
I like your natural look.
You can find more of the natural look on YouTube, youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting, where we're rolling out daily picks. Forgot to put makeup on for that as well today and look quite sweaty in the process. So enjoy it, America. My gift to you as we turn to summer here in Las Vegas. All right, let's get to work. A little reaction or no action is the name of the game. The rules are quite simple. A statement is read. If you're in agreement, you're reacting. If you are disagreeing, it's no action whatsoever. You've got the honors. You ready to go?
Yep.
Reaction or no action? At a price of plus 350, the 2022 Masters, which begins on Thursday, will be won by exactly 2 strokes.
Yeah, no action for me. I think there's just too many talented golfers in the field. I think it's more likely to go to a playoff than to be won by exactly 2 strokes. But, of course, a one-shot victory, very common. I don't see anyone kind of creating that distance. 2 may not seem like a lot in a golf tournament, but at the Masters, where it's usually very, very jammed at the top with the best world-class golfers in the world, I just don't like this price and the probability. I'd rather bank on a playoff or bet that it's a one-stroke victory.
No action as well. I'm in complete agreement. Do you know the last time the Masters was won by exactly 2 strokes?
I didn't look it up, but can I guess?
Go ahead. It's why I asked.
2008.
2008. Close. Not as far, though. 2011, Charles Schwartzel, the South African, defeating Jason Day and Adam Scott by 2 strokes. We've only seen it happen 1 time in the last 14 Masters. We've only seen it happen 3 times in the last 20 Masters. Wow. Translation, doesn't happen all that often. I think one of the reasons for that is if you're in it late and you're bird dogging the leader, you're going to go after it putting on 18, 17, whatever it may be. You might blow it by. You might miss coming back. I don't know. But for some reason, this doesn't happen a whole lot. Plus 350 implies about a 22% chance of this happening. So given everything we just read off, doesn't seem like there's enough value there. I like what you're saying. I'd rather play for a playoff than I would to win by
far more likely
2 strokes. All right, let's keep it moving. Reaction or no action? The first half of tonight's NCAA Men's National Championship game between Kansas and North Carolina will go over 71 total points in the first half.
Yeah, reaction for me. I like the over in the game. Spoiler alert. These are 2 teams that score a lot. KU's averaging 77 points per game this tournament. North Carolina's averaging 82 points per game in this tournament. And I think they're very comfortable playing in an up and down game. I think they want to flash their athleticism. Kansas has the depth advantage, so they'll want to run and try and tire out Hubert Davis's rotation, which is basically shrunken down to 5 or 6 players who are going to be out there the entire game. But I think it'd be wise for Bill Self to try and push the tempo. But I think North Carolina can handle that. And these are 18 to 20-year-old kids. They'll be out there running. There's athletes, there's scores on both sides. I'm expecting to be an over game for 40 minutes. So let's get a good head start on that for the first 20 minutes.
All right, disagreement here, going to go no action. Total for this game's 151, but what you'll see in these college basketball games is that they won't chop it down the middle first half, second half. 75.5 is essentially what that would be if my math is right. This is 71 because the first half can be lower scoring. So to go with an under here means I've got to have a pretty good reason. Well, number one, I'm projecting a little bit of regression for Kansas from the shooting department. 54% from three-point range against Villanova. They could not miss. That was their second best performance in 39 games this year. Do we expect that to happen again? From the floor in general, they shot 53% in that game, their 8th best performance in 39 games this season. We see that happening again. The answer is no. I think there's a little regression there. Armando Bacot, big man from USC, coming into this game with a rolled ankle, not going to be 100%. I think Kansas attacks him early, but I think UNC is going to have a feeling out period early in this game to see what they can get from Bacot and how they're going to run their offense. I think there's going to be some nerves, obviously, because it's a national championship. So I will say no action and project an under in the first half, but it's going to be tight. It's absolutely going to be tight. There's no walk-away winner in this one unless it's going to be the over. Final one, reaction or no action, number 3. UNC point guard Caleb Love will win the tournament's most outstanding player award at plus 400.
Let's go reaction. Spoiler alert, I want UNC to win this game. Okay.
Why might that be?
That's really the outcome that I'm hoping for here for me to go to bed happy. And Caleb Love has been outstanding in this tournament. When they have needed the offense, he has provided. He doesn't come off the floor. He plays the entire game, foul trouble permitting, and he has been awesome shooting, He's averaging 10 3-point attempts per game in this tournament. So he is not shy.
No,
he is not bashful. He will fire, and if he's having a good night, he will keep doing it. We've seen some big scoring games when UNC has needed it, and with Baycott being maybe a little hobbled, more may fall on his shoulders as far as the box score is concerned. So hoping UNC wins, and if they do, I imagine Love had a lot to do with it. Shout out, he's a St. Louis kid as well.
There you go, playing the hometown angle. I'm going to go no action here simply because I believe Kansas is going to win this game. And in the history of this award, only 12 times has the most outstanding player been awarded to someone that wasn't on the winning team. Do you know the last time it happened was? Think back, he was a great NBA player. I'll give you that as a little...
I was going to say... Can I get a hint? Can I get a hint?
I gave you two. It was a long time ago, and he was a great NBA player. How much more do you need?
How about Larry Bird?
Larry Bird is close.
Losing
good effort.
to Magic Johnson.
Akeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
Akeem Olajuwon in 1983. So basically, the fact that I like Kansas to win this game, we'll get to the spread in a moment, but if I like him to win the game, it's going to be tough to go with Caleb Love to win that most outstanding player, given the history of the award. It's not to say it can't happen, but Kansas has a lot of studs who have played very well throughout the tournament. One of them steps up tonight in this game. Yeah. It's going to be hard to go the other way. That's it for Reaction or No Action. Let's actually get to some picks. NCAA Championship Edition. We will begin with the side. The current line is as follows. Kansas laying 4, total of 151. The total's actually been coming down. Yeah. Got as high as 153.5, so it's been dropping today. More on that in a moment. Against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Start with the side, and if you want to sprinkle in the total, feel free. But how are you going to play it?
Well, I kind of, already gave that away, how I'm feeling about the total. I don't mind that it's coming down. That's just, easier threshold for me to clear here. But I do think it's going to be an up and down, closely contested game. Again, we know where my heart, where my gut and instincts lie in regards to who I want to win this game. So what I'm doing here is officially taking Kansas -4 as an emotional hedge or to try and reverse engineer some bad juju for the Jayhawks in this game. If they win and cover, then all right, I won some money. But I want them to lose. And maybe me betting against them this entire tournament has been exactly what they needed to get to this point.
They've been spite winning.
So now I bet on them at -4, give them the bad juju, and they lose this game to North Carolina. So, again, North Carolina was one of 3 colleges I applied to, and they turned me down. And I'm still willing to say I want North Carolina to win this game more than Kansas. That's how much I hate the Jayhawks.
One thing that you may have possibly overlooked is that if Kansas wins this game by 3 or less, you're losing your bet, and the team you hate is going to win the title. That's going to be bad. You're aware of that scenario.
There is a middle ground that is definitely the 7th layer of hell.
It's Steven Seagal, baby. It's on deadly ground. All right, side and total. I don't love the side. I would play Kansas -4. The shooting regression is a very real concern, but I think UNC's got 2 problems. One, the Baycott injury, as we'll continue to drill home here. He's not going to be 100% in this game. And UNC lacks depth at the big man position. So early on, I think Kansas is going to attack him. I think they're going to try to get him into foul trouble, but at the very least, I think they're going to want to try to see what he's got in the tank. And UNC is going to get exposed a little bit during that time. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, I wonder how much gas is left in the tank for the Tar Heels after Saturday night. Huge win over yet again. It was the late game. You had to pour it all out there to win it. You go back to the hotel. I'm not saying you celebrate, but it's going to take a while to fall asleep after that. Kansas had handled business earlier in the day. Kansas has pretty much rolled through everybody. Their starters were resting late in the Villanova game. It feels like they're going to come in fresher. If that's a word. Is fresher a word?
Yeah.
More fresh?
More
fresher,
fresh, I think.
But fresher.
Fresher.
The fresher Prince of Bel-Air. Watch out, you might get slapped. Oh, I've been waiting for a week to try to work that into a show. No one's giving me the opportunity.
Is the statute of limitations up on that yet? I think you missed your chance there, brother.
It's a lame joke, regardless, even if it was the day
we
after.
had the Grammys now come in after the Oscars.
But I do believe, no one got slapped there. That's why I didn't even see what happened. But yeah, that's why. 2 issues, the Baycott injury and the fact that I think UNC might be out of gas. That's why I'm going to play the side with Kansas. Total, I like a little bit more. I am going to go under 151 for all the reasons mentioned earlier regarding Kansas' shooting regression. And then I believe UNC is going to have trouble getting the ball in the basket early as they try to figure out what they're going to do on offense. Because again, if Baycott isn't 100%, which he won't be, it's going to be a feeling out period. You have 48 hours to figure it out. I doubt he was practicing yesterday. So that's where we are on the sides and the totals. Now it's time to get down to the stuff we love the most, the props. Yeah. Floor is yours. Lay it out. Everything you got for us tonight.
All right, we'll start on the North Carolina side, a guy we've already discussed, Caleb Love. Over 2.5 made 3-point field goals. A little juicy. However, this is just a great buy on opportunity because in this tournament, as mentioned, Caleb Love is attempting 10 3-point shots per game. The guy is firing. If you're going to give me 10 opportunities to give just 3 makes, even at the college level for someone like Caleb Love, I'll take those chances. Again, it is a little juicy, so maybe if you want to buy an alternate line to get a better payout, go up to 3.5 and hope that he really has a good day shooting, I would understand that. But 2.5, easy threshold. If he matches his same number of attempts per game, which I have no reason to think he won't be chucking, he needs to shoot 30% from downtown. I think he can do that given the pace these teams will play with, the possessions they will create for each other, and the fact that he is not shy by any stretch of the imagination to absolutely gun from deep.
You should get big minutes tonight, too. National title game. He's not going to play 26 minutes.
He'll play 40 minutes, foul trouble permitting. Like Hubert Davis has really no choice. On the Kansas side, you see the prop I like there is Jalen Wilson over 8.5 rebounds. Wilson is someone who has really stepped up on the glass for Bill Self in this tournament. In 5 games, he's averaging 10.8 boards per game, and he's failed to reach double digits in just 1 of the 5 tournament games that he's played. So he's had 10 in at least 4 games. Baycott's injury, of course, he's maybe the best rebounder or second best rebounder outside of that big for Oscar Tshiebwe for Kentucky. Those are probably the 2 best rebounders in college basketball. Baycott is a little banged up. How will that affect North Carolina's ability on the glass with their principal rebounder maybe being hurt? So Wilson over 8.5, something he's cleared in 4 of the 5 games. Caleb Love over 2.5 triples because he's chucking 10 a game in this tournament.
I like it. I got 3 for you, 2 from the same guy, and then 1 game prop. That's my favorite for the whole thing. David McCormick, the big man from Kansas. I'm going to go over 11.5 points, and I'm going to go over 7.5 rebounds. There's nothing sharp about this. He just ignited all over Villanova on Saturday for something like 20 points, 25 points, and 9 boards. So there are going to be a lot of people who are going to want to play McCormick overs. Not because of what we saw against Villanova, which was, think about that, 25 points and 9 boards in a very slow-paced game. But it's the fact that, again, Armando Baycott's injury is going to be a huge problem for UNC. If he's not on the glass consistently producing from start to finish, McCormick's just going to be cleaning it up. The fact that it's even money to get over 7.5 boards, he's going to be all over that. And points-wise, I think Kansas early in this game is going to want to feed McCormick down low to test Baycott and see what he's at. Maybe you get him in foul trouble and you get the guy on the stripe. He's shooting close to 80% this year, so we should get some points there. I think you get some easy buckets as well. Best bet for the game, first to 20 points, the Kansas Jayhawks. Okay. Juicy, minus 140. But Kansas has a great history in this department. They've been the first to 20 points in all 5 March Madness games, first to 20 points in 13 of their last 15 games in general. UNC is the exact opposite. First to 20 points in only 3 of 5 March Madness games, first to 20 points in only 7 of their last 16 games. I think Kansas jumps on them early. That's my favorite bet for the entire shebang. Okay. Lay in the minus 140 there. Spoiler alert, watch Daily Wager anyway when I talk about this again. Perhaps a little bit more polished. Let's turn our attention to what's going to be happening later in the week. This is a huge week. UFC, boxing, baseball's opening day. March Madness wraps up tonight. And then Thursday, we go to Augusta National for the 86th installment of the Masters. John Rahm is your betting favorite at 10-1, but all eyes will be on the potential return of one Tiger Woods, who has won this event 5 times. For more, we go out to Augusta National to visit with the host of America's Caddy on ESPN+. The great Michael Collins joins us on Bet. Michael, we always appreciate the time. Before we dive into anything golf related, we're asking everyone today, because it's Championship Monday, Kansas -4 over UNC. Who are you playing tonight?
Man, as much as I love the Tar Heels and rooted for them when I was young back in the day, that Kansas defense, man, they stifle you from the beginning and then just don't let you up to breathe for nothing. So I'll take Kansas, even minus the points.
Impossible to argue in a man with a shirt like that and a picture like that over his right shoulder. Looking fantastic as always. Now, on Sunday, Tiger Woods told us he was a game-time decision to play this week. You're on location. You're very well connected. What have you learned since then regarding Tiger's chances of playing?
Well, first, the big story coming out of here after he put that tweet out on Sunday, he showed up at the golf course to practice just a little bit and then go play 9, and he wasn't wearing Nikes. He's wearing FootJoy shoes, looking like classic, old-school golf-style shoes, because they got to be more comfortable and probably better for his feet and his right leg than anything else. During his warm-up watching him, he looked like regular Tiger Woods. He wasn't kind of pressing, trying to hit anything too hard, but went out and played 9, and now he's actually on the golf course as we're talking right now, playing another 9 with Justin Thomas. So I think the big thing we're going to find out from Tiger Woods is this might be the first time he's played 2 days in a row, and I know it's the first time he's played 2 days in a row walking a golf course that's this difficult. This is one of the hardest walks on the PGA Tour. So after tonight, when he wakes up tomorrow, he's going to have to see how he feels and how that leg and foot feels and how his back feels, because the temperature is supposed to start dropping. And I think if he feels good then, he's going to give it a go. But we shall see. The weather on Tuesday is supposed to be horrific. Probably a lot of players are not going to come over to the golf course and waste their time trying to hit balls in a quagmire. The temperature is going to get cold, but for Tiger Woods, after yesterday and today, he's going to know really well if he can go.
Yeah, Tiger Woods, Michael Collins, as you know, one of 5 golfers who have a career Grand Slam. Rory McIlroy is looking to be the 6th. The only major that has eluded him is that elusive green jacket at Augusta National. His odds right now to win the tournament are at 20-1. I think they open at 18-1, so they've shot up just a little bit for the Irishman. Does Rory pose a serious threat to finally get that elusive Masters this year?
Yeah, see, here's the thing you got to remember. This should have been the first major he won.
Mm-hmm.
And that back 9 and the collapse and crash, well, he got over it by winning the U.S. Open a couple of months later that same year. But he's never gotten over that loss every time he comes back here. And so for Rory McIlroy, the one thing that he just can't shake is the baggage and the demons that are here at Augusta. And no matter how many books about Zen that he reads, it's just not seeming to get through. Now, him and the other Irish contention, Shane Lowry went out there, Paddy Harrington, they all were playing a practice round out there together. So I think he's trying to stay within his crew to stay good. Do I think Rory has a realistic chance? The best thing that happened to Rory McIlroy this week is Tiger Woods, because now he ain't the story. But realistically, I think he could win this year. It's going to be tough, and I would like his number a lot better if it was 25-1.
Scotty Scheffler just swiped the #1 ranking in the world away from Jon Rahm, who's still the betting favorite this week at a price of 10-1. Scheffler's checking in at a price of 16-1, and he's won 3 times in his last 5 starts, but he's never claimed a coveted major. What do you think of Scotty Scheffler's chances this week?
Man, Scotty Scheffler right now reminds me of Jordan Spieth when Jordan went on that run in 2015, where Jordan, everyone kept looking at going, he's not doing anything spectacular. Like, he ain't the longest hitter out there. His iron play is just okay, but that putter in that short game, and Scotty Scheffler looks like he's in that same type of zone. Now, that being said, this place is a whole lot different than everywhere else. But still, when you're playing great golf at this level, no course scares you whatsoever, and neither does any putt. Scotty Scheffler, I think, if he was going to win a major, this would be the one that he would win, because he's on such a great run right now. And because I think he still believes that people still look at him and go, come on, man, you're not real world #1, even though he is.
Yeah, Scotty's been balling, no doubt about it. I now want you, Michael Collins, America's caddy, to tell us who you are going to put your money on. What players are you taking? Is Scheffler the new world #1? One of them? Who do you like this week at Augusta?
Scheffler not getting my money, but I got money on 2 dudes. I mean, I love Scotty to death, and his dad's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I just love walking a golf course with Scotty Scheffler's dad, because he's such a good dude. His mom is awesome too. But me and Scotty's dad just have fun on the golf course when we're walking, watching guys play. But he's still not getting my money. 2 guys are getting my money. #1, another guy who nobody's talking about, but who had a friend who now is a friend of me, who got this green jacket before he did. And I know he wants it bad. Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka, who hasn't been playing spectacular, but also hasn't played bad when he's gotten here, and never really got a shot at this place 100% healthy. Well, guess what? He's healthy now, and he's getting my money. The other guy who's getting my money is an Australian. The weather's supposed to get bad, but Cam Smith just took the Players' Championship in some horrific weather. So you talk about a golf course that is very hard and has extremely tricky greens, and Cam Smith came out on top. Guess what? With the weather going to be the way it's going to be, and Cam Smith hasn't played since the Masters, and if you listen to his presser, talks about he enjoys having a few cold ones on the weekend with his boys. Yeah, Cam Smith might be the first guy to win the Players and the Masters in the same year. He's getting some of my money too.
I love that. Cam Smith's the guy I'm looking at as well. Speaking of getting your money, Michael Collins, you got $10 to take to the Augusta concession stand. How do you split it up? How many pimento cheeses are you getting? How many cold beverages?
There ain't no split up. All egg salad. I don't know what they putting in their egg salad sandwiches here, but it's for me, it's my crack right there. I will eat 12. I'm 5 egg salad sandwiches deep right now, and it's only Monday. Like, I'll eat 10 more of those things before Wednesday. I'll be the first one to admit. I'll apologize to everybody in the media center because I'm gonna crop dust that whole spot. I don't care. And yeah, I'm gonna keep eating egg salad too. So what?
And that's only, I think you can buy, with $10, I think you can get about 7 egg salads.
5.
Like
They're only
$1.50
$2
a
each.
piece.
You get 5 egg salad sandwiches for $2 a pop, man. And I go in there, let me tell you something. I'm going shopping in there too. Let me tell you, I'm going to try and find one of those Augusta gnomes that they have. And I'm going to show y'all this gnome and you tell me. Because Kevin Kisner's caddy took a picture of a gnome and then took a picture of me in my America's Caddy jumpsuit. Augusta might owe me some money. That little gnome looks a little too much like your boy.
Netflix special due out next month. Host of America's Caddy on ESPN Plus, the great Michael Collins joining us here on Bet. Thank you, Michael. We always appreciate the insights.
You got it. Anytime.
Over under 20 egg salad sandwiches for him this week.
I'm going to take the over. He said he's already 5 deep, and it is Monday.
All right. Stock up, stock down as we transition to the National Football League. It's been a busy offseason. You and I have not had an opportunity to discuss it here on this program. So let's isolate 3 teams, their offseason moves, and make the assessment of whether we're seeing them as a stock up proposition or a stock down proposition. First team up, the Washington Commanders.
Stock down, and it has...
No way.
Yeah, exactly. It has more to do with just their ownership and the things going on off the field. Now there's, government's looking into whether or not they've been keeping proper books. That story's out there.
Government doesn't care about that.
I mean, the Commanders nickname, I think people liked Washington football team more than the new nickname that they have. So I know they added Carson Wentz and the division's kind of poor, but I didn't see any other impact moves outside of quarterback, which may only be a marginal upgrade over what they had if Wentz continues to struggle. So stock down for me with the Commanders.
I'm a stock down as well, specifically because of the Carson Wentz move. Now, it's not because I think Carson Wentz is necessarily a terrible quarterback. I just think he's an expensive quarterback that's going to delay you eventually finding the quarterback of the future. $28 million is his salary cap hit this year. When it flamed out in Philadelphia, at least he could point to the Eagles and say it was them. And the Eagles could point to Wentz and say it was him. And we were left to decide. But 1 year later, after flaming out in Indy, it's hard for Wentz to say, well, yeah, it was the Eagles and the Colts. I'm not the problem. He's the common denominator. He's the problem. Washington bringing him on, it's a patchwork type deal to try to get something going at quarterback, and it probably is a slight upgrade. But the longer you stick with him, the longer you're not trying to find the guy who actually could be a franchise quarterback for the future, like a Joe Burrow or whoever could be a top pick coming out at some point in the future. So ultimately, it's a stock down because I think you're just wasting time with Wentz. You're essentially treading water. You might be okay, but you're not going to compete at a high level, especially with the injury concern. Team number 2. Glad this one made it into the list, and I shudder to think what your answer will be. The defending champion, Los Angeles Rams, a.k.a. your boys.
Well, what would you guess I'm going to say here?
I would have to imagine it's stock up.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's not like you came in here hyping Kansas today.
Well, I mean, let's look at the Rams. They extend Matt Stafford. Aaron Donald's coming back. They did lose Andrew Whitworth. That's a big loss. They lost Von Miller. That's a big loss. But they added another Hall of Famer on that defense in Bobby Wagner, who's the exact kryptonite they need against the team that always beats them, the San Francisco 49ers, except for the most inopportune time for the 49ers. Wagner's exactly the type of player who can dominate against the 49ers. He's a tackling machine. He diagnoses things quickly. He makes them better in their hardest matchup in the division. Then they add Allen Robinson to offset the loss of Robert Woods. They still may get Odell Beckham Jr. back, and that offense should continue to grow with another year of Matt Stafford and Sean McVay kind of coalescing and getting on the same page. Pretty soon, Stafford's going to be able to run that offense for McVay, and they still have a lot of weapons and 3 Hall of Famers on defense. And the conference got significantly worse with all the talent drain.
Great assessment. I'm going to go stock neutral for a lot of those reasons. Stock neutral. I think they did. Well, I threw it in there and thought it wouldn't work, and then no one ever told me no. So we're rolling with it because the graphic has been made. Stock neutral because they did all the stuff you talked about. They got better this offseason. But you're still combating the fact that you won the title, which means, let's be honest, a little bit of complacency is going to set in. You're probably not as hungry. You're on the banquet rubber chicken circuit all winter long. Maybe you don't come in as fired up as you were last season. You got a target on your back. The schedule is going to involve you playing a lot of top teams. It's going to be tough to navigate. That's why it's so difficult to repeat. Everyone thought Kansas City was going to win 8 Super Bowls with Mahomes. They've slowly gone backwards each and every year. They won one, then they lost in the Super Bowl, then they didn't even make the Super Bowl. The Rams are facing that daunting challenge, but stock neutral because they made the team better with Wagner and Robinson. So this is actually a compliment.
Okay.
You don't need to applaud me or anything like that, but it is a compliment.
I certainly won't.
Stock neutral. All right, final team. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Stock up or stock down?
Stock up. Woo.
Trubisky.
Yeah, I know. I believe the 2022 version of Mitchell Trubisky will be a better quarterback for the Steelers team than the 2021 version of Ben Roethlisberger. I certainly think defensive coordinators will have a more difficult time trying to game plan against Mitchell Trubisky because you have to stop both his ability to run and throw. With Ben Roethlisberger, you know, only thing you have to do is get inside that pocket. He can't move.
And Trubisky can throw the ball more than 11 yards down the field.
Exactly. So I look at the talent they have on defense, led by T.J. Watt, Mike Tomlin as their head coach. I think they're going to rebound. I love them to win this division and make the playoffs. I think they're getting wildly disrespected in the futures market.
I agree. It's a stock up. It's a small stock up. It's like a stock that's priced at $21.05 and it comes out and it closes at $21.30. You can make a little bit of money if you're trading in high volume. Otherwise, it's going to be a small marginal move. Trubisky, it might be a slight upgrade. You know, there's some upside there. Maybe it was the Bears who screwed him up. After all, who are the Bears
have they gotten right at that position?
They're the only team in history that hasn't had a 4,000-yard passer. They upgraded the offensive line. They signed 3 offensive linemen led by James Daniels from the Chicago Bears. They're going to get better there. They still have weapons. Stable organization, solid defense. They brought in Miles Jack. They added some depth, and Levi Wallace and Kello Witherspoon's coming back at corner. It's not a reason to be overly excited, but I don't really see them being down. Roethlisberger was such an albatross of a quarterback.
Exactly.
They're not down. So,
all Mike Tomlin does is, have winning seasons.
Yeah,
15 times in the NFL. He's never had a losing season.
Steady. All right, final segment. No NBA today because we have the national championship game in New Orleans tonight, but we have 12 NBA games on the card tomorrow. We also have lines. Best bet from tomorrow's card based on the information you have now is
the T-Wolves at home laying a big number.
Oh, Minnesota.
But I'm not scared. 11.5 against the Washington Wizards. The T-Wolves have crafted the 3rd best cover rate at home in the NBA this season. We've talked about it all the time, how great their defense is at home. They still play fast and have the offense working, but the defense is like top 3 in the NBA at home. Meanwhile, the Wizards, they're mailing it in. They're the worst as far as cover rate on the road in the NBA this season. They're not a team I believe in. They're one of those betting bullies I want to pick on right now at this point in the NBA season. So I'll lay a big number with the T-Wolves.
I will go north of the border, and I will take the Atlanta Hawks at +4 over the Toronto Raptors. It was 4.5 earlier today. The game's still 36 hours away, and the line's already moving. So we're going with +4. If you haven't been paying attention, Atlanta is red hot right now. They've won 5 straight. They've won 10 of 13. They're 7-2 against the number over their last 9. They're jockeying for playoff position, and they've gotten themselves ahead of Brooklyn and ahead of Charlotte with just a small handful of games to play. They're the 8th seed. They're still trying to make a move to close in on the 7, but keep in mind, Toronto's the 6, and they pretty much have it locked up, so they're avoiding the play-in.
Sure.
So what is there left to play for if you're Toronto? Motivation might not be high. I think Atlanta's playing great. Motivation's high. Give me the 4 points. A little bit on the money line as well. Hawks are coming in hot for that game.
Yeah, the T-Wolves are in a similar situation, just a game and a half back of the Utah Jazz for that 6th spot in the Western Conference, which obviously is very valuable.
What a year for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, you were on them. I know you have the over on them.
One of the few. One of the few winners. Talk about that. Sweep losers under the rug.
Let's go Tar Heels!
Speaking of which, he's
go
Tyler
Tar
Fulghum.
Heels!
I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. Thank you so much for checking us out today. Big game tonight. Daily Wager, 6 p.m. Eastern, ESPN 2.